Welcome to HorrorTube.
You can never get through that.
It's because I have to do the theatrics, bro.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
And
I'm Josh.
Yeah, I'm Rob. Oh yeah, because we're reverse.
And I'm Raj.
And I'm Job. And this is HorrorTube.
Welcome in the voice.
We have a guest with us today, so if you hear somebody laughing in the background, it's my child, Corey/Lily.
Say hi.
Hello.
All right. So now y'all know they're here. We also have birds that just won't shut the fuck up today as well.
Good morning to you as well, birds.
And yes, when he said good morning, he actually means good morning because Horror Wars is usually done at like 9:30 in the morning. HorrorTube is usually done at like 11, 12 o'clock, maybe 1 in the afternoon.
Depends.
Now we're here at like 9:40 right now, dog.
Oof.
I've been here. Well, we've been here since 9, but we've just been like chilling and talking and
Catch up.
You know, we always do that like beforehand. So today it's our 10th episode of HorrorTube.
10th.
How do we feel about that? Like, for one, before we really get into anything, how do we feel about like our second show at 10 episodes?
Time flies.
Doesn't
Holy
it?
shit.
Right.
And it's bi-weekly, so it means even more time has gone. It's not like
Right.
it's been 10 weeks since
We
10 weeks
started,
ago,
right.
we started HorrorTube. It's been way more. So.
It's been like 20 weeks.
So yeah, I'll say we at least double. So yeah,
Yeah, we've been doing this now for like over
4.5 months.
Yeah, about 4 months now because, you know, like you said, every other week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wild that we've got 2 shows, especially considering almost 2 years ago, Josh didn't even want to do this.
Oh yeah, PTSD like a mug.
PTSD like a motherfucker. But we've already discussed that in the archives.
Go back to the very first episode of Horror Wars.
And also, I think we talked about it in like the first or second episode of HorrorTube as well.
Probably,
yeah. Typically at the beginning of the episode, we tell you what we smoked. Today, I did not smoke anything because I have something going on that I'm not going to talk about right now. And Josh, what have you been smoking on today?
It's called cummies. So
Cummy wummy oohs.
Mm-hmm.
So also be sure to stick around to the end of the episode because we will be revealing episode number 45 of Horror Wars.
Oh yeah.
And 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50 are literally nothing but banger after fucking banger. Woo.
Finally getting to where I can enjoy myself watching these horror clubs and wars and shit.
Did you check out anything for Horror Wars yet? Speaking of that real quick before we get into anything, did you see what...
I've been looking at the list nonstop, bro.
No, I'm saying, did you watch anything for 45 yet?
No.
No, not yet.
What do you mean? Oh. For the next one, yeah, I've only seen the first one. I've seen the remake, remember?
Yeah. Okay.
So I still
And you
gotta
were
watch the
amped to
original
watch
and
the
the
original. And
yeah.
I can't say, you know, anything. Yeah. Not until the end of the episode. Yeah. So, fucking, yeah, bitch.
It's getting good, right?
So, today's episode, we are also, this is the second week, well, the second episode in a row that we're just like standing and kind of walking.
Marching and stuff.
And marching and stuff. So because that's what we do, we find it easier to just be able to be mobile, I think.
I feel more natural being able to move and shit because I can't sit still, bro. Sometimes during Horror Wars, I'm like fidgety. I'm like, I want to stand or do something.
Well, that's how come I'm glad Horror Wars has segments, dude, because like we can actually get up and stretch and
I think we should start taking in between the downloads for sections. We should just stretch for a second.
Yeah. So, okay, 4 minutes into this episode, we're finally going to get to it. But that's also because Josh came up with this like he does with every episode. Like I'll tell you at every episode, Josh does HorrorTube more so. And he did his first dabbling into Horror Wars with the Mortal Kombat writing, which was fucking mwah,
thanks, dude.
Of course. So this episode is what horror books do we want to see made into movies?
Yeah.
This was hard.
Hell, it could have been any book in general. You could even make a twist on the book and make it into a film.
I mean, yeah, you can make like, what is it? They're doing, Sleeping Beauty is getting ready to have a horror movie.
I believe so.
Yeah,
That's
Sleeping Beauty. Fucking Winnie the Pooh just had Blood and Honey.
Even though apparently it's dog meat.
I saw it. It's not that bad. It's honestly not that
Is
bad.
it at least brutal?
It's brutal, yeah.
Okay.
It's better than the fucking Grinch movie piece of shit that we saw back in December.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to beat that. I mean,
No.
you take a fat shit and it'd be better than that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. That was so disappointing.
So disappointing.
So
It had so much fucking potential. But we're not. This isn't the Mean One rant cast.
We should probably do that for a hard fucking tube.
My god damn, that movie was garbage. So anyway, ironically enough, as with every time Josh and I do something like this, we don't tell each other the amount of things that we have or whatever, but we both came up with 2 books.
Yep. So it's a popcorn episode.
So it's a popcorn episode. We're not going to be too long today. We do have something that we want to talk about at the end. As per usual, it's like 2 to 3 topics per episode. So, sir, what is your first book that you would like to see turned into a horror movie?
So, go back to last episode when we were talking about what got us from mythologies and stuff like that. I believe was the last one or the one before. I don't know. But we shouted out our teachers from when we were in school. Well, another one that it's actually 2 books my reading teacher gave me before I graduated the high school, and it is called Cut by Patricia McCormick.
Okay.
Now, it's horror in a sense of real life shit. It deals with body dysmorphia, what are they called? Eating disorders, with people cutting their wrists and shit like that. So it kind of deals with a woman who is pretty much in a mental asylum because she's too much in her life and all this crazy shit happens. And it's more based on realism. There's not too much of like a supernatural thing to it.
Okay.
But I would like to see that kind of be used into maybe a curse or maybe more of like she's psychopathic compared to kind of just being like someone who's got all these disorders and stuff.
Yeah.
And even that could be one of those movies like a Jane Doe or something like that, where it's more, there's not too much spirits to it, but it's got this creepy side.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But it's just a book that I've always seen as horror because of, living with these kind of mental diseases fucking sucks. So that's horror in itself. And everyone in this world, we all have our problems, so yeah.
People don't really think that mental diseases are horrors, but they really fucking are.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
Like a movie that comes to mind immediately is like Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
Where he's got to deal with post-war trauma.
Yep.
And it's fucking ridiculous. So like, yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea, dude.
Thank you.
Okay. So my first one is actually the shout out from my teacher, Mr. Panis.
Okay.
A Stranger Came Ashore. I absolutely adored that book, and it is a serious, like,
Still don't tell you.
you could create a thriller, you could create a horror out of this. Basically, it's a book in 1975 that was written by Molly Hunter. I am going to find the description here so that way you guys can listen to it. Stranger Came Ashore is a 1975 young adult novel written by Scottish author Molly Hunter, set in the Shetland Islands of the north of Scotland. The plot revolves around a boy called Robbie Henderson, his family, and a mysterious stranger named Finn Learson. August 7th, 1975 is when that fucking book came out.
Holy schmeats.
Yeah. Basically, it's about a family who take in this man named Finn, and he has a capability because he is a Selkie. And I'm not going to give too much...
From Norse mythology?
From Scottish mythology.
Oh, yeah, the seals.
The seals, yeah. I'm not going to give too much away in terms of story or whatever, but it's a very well-written young adult novel. And I think that it could translate super well into a movie.
No, it sounds good, man.
Yeah, so that's my number one. What is your number two? I mean, not that we're actually doing like a list or anything
List
here.
Deep.
Yeah.
My last book pretty much is, and I hate the fact that it's the name of it now, but it's called TikTok, but it's by Dean Koontz.
Okay.
And it's about this little doll that this woman finds. I mean, it looks like a what are they called? Like a what do you call the cookies you make around Christmas time?
The trees?
Gingerbread man.
The gingerbread man.
It's got the shape of that. That's the kind of doll it is. It's super, like, it's got 2 stitches, like, that are crossed, like X's for eyes, and it's got a stitch across the mouth. I can actually show you the cover of it, too, since we're talking about it, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But this little doll moves. That's already in the introduction. That's in
Right.
the back of the book. You can read it. Like right on the back cover, it tells
Okay.
you. But something's up with this doll. And I want to tell you, I'm not gonna say anything more. But it's by Dean Koontz. I'm actually gonna show Rob.
Dean Koontz has some really wild fucking books.
A lot of his books could also be made into horror movies. Like
Yeah.
everyone, Stephen King, I like some of his movies. Everyone kind of rides him for those horror movie books. Dean Koontz could have some bangers, dude.
Yeah.
I've never gotten why they don't make his books in the movies. Maybe he's just not that popular. I don't know. Here it is. So here's the cover. Well, that's not the original cover, but
Oh, that's creepy
that's
looking
what it
though.
looks like. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's creepy, dude.
Yeah, here it is. Here's
Is that the
actual
original?
one.
Oh god, that's even more creepier.
Yeah. So that's what I would like to see.
I wonder if that's an audiobook right now because
probably is.
I have like 10 credits on Audible and I should probably.
I recommend out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I own the book.
Now, speaking of owning books, I own my next one. I've never been able to say his name, so don't fucking come at me with your pitchforks and fires.
Yeah, we don't have Lamont to
Yeah.
warn you guys. We can't pronounce
so-
names sometimes.
It's my favorite book by this author.
Okay.
It's called Lullaby,
Okay.
and it's by Chuck Palahniuk, or Palahniuk, or Palahniuk, or Pahulunuk, or however the hell you want to say his fucking name. I've heard like 20 different pronunciations over the course of my life. He's the guy that did Fight Club.
Or Aruba, Bahama.
And he also has another one of my favorite books called Choke. Choke was made into a movie back in like 2007 or 2008. It wasn't that good, unfortunately. But Lullaby is something wholly fucking different. Lullaby is a horror satire novel by American author Chuck Palahniuk, published in 2002. It won the 2003 Pacific Northwest Booksellers Association Award and was nominated for the Bram Stoker Award for Best Novel in 2002.
Okay.
Lullaby is a novel by critically acclaimed writer Chuck Palahniuk. In this novel, Carl Streeter is a journalist, is doing a story on crib death when he notices a strange connection between not only the deaths of these babies, but of his own wife and infant as well.
Okay.
And it is
What was this called again? Lullaby?
Lullaby. Apparently American punk rock band Lagwagon's song Lullaby was inspired by the novel.
Oh, sure.
Basically I'm not going to give too much away, but it's a whole thing of lullabies coming from Africa that are cursed.
Oh, yeah. We like curses around here.
And yeah, it's
Cast
really
upon
good.
us, just in
I actually have the audiobook of it too. Like I've got the audiobook, I've got the regular book, I've got the first edition of this book. Because I love it so much.
Very nice.
And I definitely would recommend people reading it. I know that this movie was slated to come out, but they just pulled the plug on it.
Really? Wow.
Don't know what happened. Like he couldn't get the crowdfunding, he couldn't get the necessary things for it.
The book sounds good, dude. I might just have to read the book.
But yeah, it's really good. And as I was sitting here thinking, there's also. Do you have any more that you were thinking about, like while we were standing here talking and everything?
I was just going to say, the only thing that would be cool to see, or to let like this generation see old horror books, I guess, be referenced, is make some of the older Goosebumps books into.
Dude.
Like, just they can even make them like episodic movies or something, just in some way.
Did you hear about Goosebumps coming back?
I remember we talked about a little bit of Horror Wars, but
Yeah, Goosebumps is coming back. There's R.L. Stein's doing something again with the Goosebumps trademark.
But those series carried me as a kid in books because that's
Yeah.
what I always like for like me in grade school, when we had library when we could go pick out books for the week, I would always grab a Goosebumps book. I love those books.
Dude, remember, we're apart, but we're not too
No,
far
I know, I'm
apart.
just saying.
So when I had library, I would go pick out books as well. And I actually have one of my Goosebumps books, if I can remember to take a picture and send you this later.
I also have Goosebumps books.
It's got the school on
Nice.
it and everything because I just never took the fucking
Yeah.
book back. So fuck y'all.
I did that for a couple too.
Yeah.
Shout out
that's
to grade school us. You guys are cool.
whatever. You guys are really cool. Stealing Goosebump books.
Hey, at least it was for like learning and stuff.
And also, Goosebumps are really good to get into because they're like about 120 pages, maybe.
Super short.
Some of them are like 70, 80 pages, and they have some pretty intense fucking writing
Yeah.
for young adult things. Like,
And they're not even graphic. So
Nope.
I mean, it's
Nope.
it's an easy read. It's something just to get you in like just one read a horror tale without it being
Yep.
super fucking head cutty offy.
I would definitely love to see like older Goosebumps made with today's technology. Because the Goosebumps TV series was really awesome when it was around, but it was cheesy as fuck.
I thought of something we could talk about on Horror Wars if we could fit it in at one time. We could talk about. Do you remember? Oh no, I'm too baked. Fuck! I just lost the name of it. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
Like those kind of shows. Like, even remember back in those days on TV, they were showing more horror, even on
Yeah.
like Nickelodeon and shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? That entrance is still one of the creepiest fucking entrances I've ever seen in a show.
And it's just telling tales, and they could do that like Goosebumps, bro.
Nope. I mean, they've started kind of resurging Are You Afraid of the Dark, but it's just been in like movie format. Because there was a Are You Afraid of the Dark 3-part movie that came out a few years ago. It's like something about the circus or some shit, but it was really well done and it was on Nickelodeon.
I need to do some research. While we were talking about Nickelodeon, I had a memory unlock, and there was a horror show on Nickelodeon or whatever the other one, Cartoon Network. I swear it was like a fucking early version of American Horror Story, that kind of story writing, but it was a kid show, bro. I remember watching it as a kid because it was like instead of blood, it was like blue goo coming out of their mouth.
Are you remembering the show on Disney Channel?
No,
where
I never watched Disney shows.
Okay, because there was a show on
Fudge.
Disney, and I don't remember the name of this fucking show, but it was like
look.
it was a girl who toured with her family or something, and she experienced like horror shit happening to her. And while he's looking that up, I'm gonna look up this.
I'm telling you, man. Of course, Are You Afraid of the Dark came up. But that's not.
So Weird is the show that I'm thinking about, I think. 14-year-old computer geek Fiona. It was on the road with her rock star mom. Seriously into paranormal phenomena, U.S. ghost, you name it, and she's uncovered it during her travels. Her brother Jack and friend Carrie Bella are along for the ride. So Weird was a really cool series, and also you can get it on Disney Plus right now.
Oh, nice. I think I am talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark. I think that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, like Are You Afraid of the Dark is one of those shows I think got lost in time.
Are You Afraid of the Dark it had a start for like Ryan Gosling and a couple other prominent people right now. And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize Are You Afraid of the Dark is a Canadian show.
Yep.
And Nickelodeon only had the rights to it. They only had the rights to air it. It wasn't like a Nickelodeon produced show.
Yeah.
Much like you can't do that on television.
Yeah.
It was a Canadian owned show. I don't remember I think it's like YTV or some shit. But Are You Afraid of the Dark was definitely the kids' version of fucking
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt, because every episode was just there was a creep factor. Me and Steve actually purchased like all the Are You Afraid of the Dark stores. It's on our Vudo.
Oh, nice.
And they're out of order in the collections, which is really fucking stupid. Like the episodes themselves are out of order. So it's like we've have 6 fucking collections of it, but
Nice.
none of them are in the same.
At least you got them.
Right. But one of my favorite episodes is the one where Ryan Gosling, I think that's his episode, where he found out that he could tune into the radio station of the dead.
Oh, yeah.
When he was in the hearse and stuff like that. It was fucking creepy. It's weird, man. Like, but what do you think your favorite episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark are? Like, if you can remember.
I'm telling you, man. It's got one. It deals with like a circus and a clown. It's kind of like the clown from American Horror Story, but I remember because he had blue. It was supposed to be blood, but they made it blue goo, and all this. I just don't remember the episode. It's pissing me off.
Was it from a few years ago?
No.
Okay.
Like it was closer to that show ending. It had 7 seasons.
Okay. Because this is the one that I was talking about from a few years ago, from 2019. It's Are You Afraid of the Dark, and it has like a whole fucking circus theme to it.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, 2019 had one. Then there was like one in 2021 and shit. Like they've been really kind of bringing back the Are You Afraid of the Darks. And that's really cool. Oh, Curse of the Shadows. That's the other one that came out after
Nice.
the circus one. Yeah, dude. I would definitely. It's on Netflix. So if you have the chance, watch
You're on
them.
Netflix.
I am on Netflix. Oh, there's also Ghost Island. What the fuck? Where the hell did these Are You Afraid of the Darks come from?
Oh wait, no. Apparently it was a series called. No, it can't be. No, that's too. No, it's too close. Yeah, I think it was from Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Interesting. Well, now that we've turned this.
Because here's the clown.
Oh, I remember that fucking episode.
Yep. So it was that. Okay. Yep. So that would be it.
You know what else had a really horrifying episode?
Hmm.
And I'll never forget it. It was a show called Salute Your Shorts.
I never heard of that.
And it was on Nickelodeon. It was Camp Anawana. And it was basically at a summer camp. And Zeke the plumber was horrifying in these episodes. In this one episode, it says it's the most traumatic fucking episode of the series.
Holy shit.
And that's a mask, dude. Like,
They should use that in like a movie now.
that is
Put
horrifying.
that when we did our favorite masks.
Yeah,
You could've
that
put
is.
that
I
bitch
could have, because this mask is literally fucking nightmare fuel. Like, it looks like it's something out of Tourist Trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or like a really off Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, remembering the most traumatic episode of Salute Your Shorts. Dude, I was so afraid of this fucking episode when I was younger, man. So fucking afraid. But back to the topic real quick. There's another series that I would like to see getting made as a book, into a movie. But it's a 5-book series. It's called The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd.
Hey, if we can have 10,000 Fast and Furious movies,
We can
do
have-
a 5-part series for a movie.
It's called The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. It's basically about a vampire teenager, and he's in school. I can't give away the story because of who he's the son of and who he's related to, but you don't really find that out until like book 4, which is really irksome. And then book 5 is just like an all-out war.
Nice.
Like the whole fucking book is just like Deathly Hallows.
Oh shit!
It's just like a fucking war for the entire book. So I think that's gonna wrap that portion of the show up, right? Like, I mean, you know, you're comfortable with your books turned into movies. Okay. Let's talk about The Thing 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How do we feel about this? We just found out yesterday
All the hype. A classic.
that John Carpenter got some stuff going on for Thing 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it's a sequel. He doesn't know if he's directing it or not.
He'll direct it.
I hope he does. He absolutely refuses to go any further with it, though. Like, he's just like, yes, there's stuff about The Thing 2. It exists. There's something going on, but I can't tell you anymore. So,
He'll probably at least have a handle on it.
do you think Kurt Russell's going to come back?
100%. You kidding me?
So do you think that we're finally going to get the answer after all these years of who it was?
Probably.
Because I don't think...
If they're not going to make any more movies after, they have to.
I don't think the one guy's still alive, is he?
The one who survived besides Kurt Russell in the original?
Yeah. Because they technically didn't survive. Keith David. Is Keith David still alive?
Yeah. He's the voice of the president of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, oh my God. So Keith David and Kurt Russell are both still alive right now.
Oh, they'll be in it.
Oh my God. And apparently the sequel to fucking The Thing is a movie called Prince of Darkness. What is this shit?
What?
Look, release date June 25th, 1982. Director John Carpenter. Sequel Prince of Darkness. Prequel The Thing from 2011.
I've never heard
I know about Prince of Darkness, but I don't think that that's a fucking sequel. I just think that that's his movie after that. Poking around in a church cellar, a priest finds an otherworldly vial filled with slime. Frightened, he brings his discovery to a circle of top scholars and scientists, who eventually learn that the strange liquid is the essence of Satan. The slime then begins to seep out, turning some of the academics into zombified killers. As
Holy
the
shit.
possessed battle and survivors, student Kelly, Susan Blanchard, is infected by a large quantity of liquid, becomes Satan personified.
I've never heard
That
of this.
literally has nothing to do
With the thing.
with the thing. And now they're saying in this, when I looked at this, it says sequel, In the Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness was not anything to do with this. Like, why are they saying that these are sequels? These are not fucking sequels, you fucking putzes. What the fuck? Anywho, so the thing, gonna be fucking awesome if it turns out to have Kurt Russell and Keith David in it, because that would be fucking sick. Because if they both survive that blast, if they both like,
they're gonna keep us guessing. Oh no, he's one of them now or whatever. Like between the two,
I want to know how they're gonna do this, because it's 80, 90, 2010, 20. We're talking 40 fucking years later.
They can still be trapped there.
Yeah. And in the 2011 thing, how did you ever see that or no?
I've seen both of
the
them.
prequel. Like, how did you feel about the prequel?
I didn't mind the fact it was a prequel. It didn't piss me off. I enjoy the fact that even though it was, many, many moons later, that they still kept it, it made it feel like it was still in the 80s or whatever. It made it, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like they just rebooted it in a sense or made it a sequel. And they didn't even hint that it was a prequel or anything like that. They just they just released it and didn't even make it seem like it was a prequel at all. So
and then you had to watch the movie to know that it was a prequel.
Yep.
Because it
goes right to the dog.
It goes right to the dog, yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. Do you got anything else you want to talk about today? Anything else big happen?
No, I did. I have a question, because you know how I keep asking about, do you think this movie should be considered a horror film?
Okay.
I have one, but do you think I should save it for Horror Wars?
Or
I can say it now and then give you time to think it's like a preview for next week for that.
Say it now. Let's see what you got.
I don't ever remember the full title.
While you're looking at that, we can also say Terrifier 3 is officially happening.
I know, that's fucking insane.
Yep.
What?
Terrifier 3 got, and it's even got a bigger budget than Terrifier 2. So they're just
make it more gory compared
yeah,
to
they're giving what the hell is his name? The director. I forget. Is it Damien Leone?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Terrifier 2. Apparently Terrifier 2 is free on Pluto TV right now.
I'll hop on it.
Just saying.
Terrifier 2.
Damien Leone, yeah. All right, so what do you got?
All right. Do you think The Lovely Bones should be considered a horror film?
Ooh. Bro, I watched that movie literally this time last year. I haven't watched it for a while. Yeah, it's a fucking horror film. It's definitely a horror film.
I feel like that's definitely a intro into horror movie.
It could be, yeah.
Because it's not gory, and you can definitely watch it with your kids, and it doesn't show any violence like that. It gives a lot of hints, but it doesn't full out say it. So it's an easy horror film to get into.
It's more of a thriller than really anything else. But as I've said, and as you've said many times, thrillers are horror movies. Right. They're just more lighter horror movies. I will always go to Silence of the Lambs and Seven. Mm-hmm. Those two are thriller movies, but they are fucking horror.
Oh, Seven. That's such a good movie.
It's phenomenal, except for fucking Kevin Dickbag Spacey.
Fucking
fucking piece of shit. Anyway, but yeah, dude. Oh, also, the budget for Terrifier 2 was $250,000, and it made $15.1 million.
Holy shit.
By the way,
I love the fact that horror's really coming back.
Yeah, it's really being a fucking force to be reckoned with, and that's great. So, do we have anything else for this episode except for the reveal of episode 45 of Horror Wars?
No, I think that's about it.
That's about it. Okay, so let me scroll up here with all my fucking notes.
Trying to think, is there any horror game stuff? Outlast Trials came out.
I heard it was really good.
The 4-person game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got online. Which makes me sad, though, because the stories are so good, bro. I know I bring, that horror game up a lot, Outlast 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, man, they are worth playing. They're good horror games. Especially 2. 2 is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
If that would be a good movie. the way that whole thing goes and the weird ass endings, bro.
I think so too. Yeah.
Outlast they're fantastic games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that came out. I don't think that's really much else. At the PlayStation showcase, they're bringing out a VR version for RE4 remake.
Yes.
So it's in first person.
And
but you get all the
also,
guns and stuff.
and also Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was surprised.
Coming out in time for the movie.
I was gonna say,
So-
and then the movie's getting closer and closer. I know
Yeah.
your ass is gonna say it.
Hell yeah.
Well, we already decided that we're just going to watch Peacock version.
Okay.
We're not going to the theaters for that.
It's gonna
Look,
be crowded.
it's going to
as
be
fuck.
packed. It's going to have a bunch of fucking either people that are my age talking about how fucking horrible everything is, or people their age saying, "My God, they could have just made this movie." Blah, 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 blah. It's just going to be nothing but a bitch fest in
Or
the theaters.
people that have not showered in weeks.
Yes.
I'd rather just
I'd rather just sit at home, make some fucking popcorn, and just chill. And that's what's going to fucking happen. Because I'm too old for this shit.
I'm pretty excited for that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. Apparently, people are bitching about the eyes.
Bro, people are so picky with that
the
shit.
thing
anymore.
is,
It's so
though,
annoying.
Scott was on set every day that movie was created.
Yeah.
If he didn't want the eyes to be red, they would not have been red.
And also, literally, we've only seen them in attack mode in one fucking trailer.
And
Yeah, it's
Like,
there's,
shut the fuck up.
there's also lore, like actual real lore on why the eyes are red. The eyes are red because one of the characters in the franchise is controlling them. I believe it's William Afton. I believe he controls them and makes them aggressive, if I remember correctly.
Also, shout out to Game Theory
Game theory.
because I watched it ever since the beginning. That's the only. Excuse me. Those are the only videos I watched from them. I
Right.
think I've watched a couple others, but
Right.
then Five Nights at Freddy's they hit.
Like 60 parts, man.
Bro,
Insane.
that's something you could like, just not even
Deep.
like you could listen to it and like work.
Yeah.
It's like that's how long that shit is. It's like 60 hours of Five Nights at Freddy's lore. And that's
They
not
always
just-
refine it. And they always refine it, too. It's
Yep.
not even like... They just keep finding shit.
Yep.
It's just wild as hell. But, okay. So, we've gone through 4 episodes of
Pain.
Horror Wars. Episode 44 wasn't too bad.
Which one was
Prom Night and Tragedy
Oh,
Girls.
yes. Oh,
I know
yeah.
that you didn't like Tragedy Girls or whatever,
Yeah.
but Prom Night, the original one was really well done, and the remake was
Yeah, they were
doo-doo
pretty
butter.
good.
Well, yeah, you liked the remake of Prom Night. But
I didn't really mind either. They were better than the weeks before.
episode 45 of Horror Wars,
Woo-wee.
that's where we get into the
gonna
real
be,
meat and potatoes.
A rough one though.
It's going to be a rough one. The war is going to be Last House on the Left versus Last House on the Left. Yes, Wes Craven's first fucking horror movie
No.
versus its remake, which, whew, that's pretty intense movies. We're hearkening back to the I Spit on Your Grave type
Yeah.
episode here.
It's pretty much I Spit on Your Grave
Yeah.
in another universe. Pretty
But
much.
without the hardcoreness of I Spit on Your Grave,
Yeah.
because both of these movies are hard to watch. Both of the Last House on the Left are very hard to watch movies.
Yes.
Because of what they deal with.
Super trigger warning.
Super trigger warning. So next week's Horror Wars is going to be very trigger warning for a lot of people.
We'll
Just
probably
be
explain it
prepared.
more on
Well,
Horror
yeah,
Wars.
of course. And then we're gonna wet our palate with Becky.
That one
which
I've never
is-
seen.
Kevin James, Paul Blart Mall Cop, is a
You talked about this
horrifying,
before.
horrifying individual in this movie, and I can't wait for you to see it because this may end up on our hidden gems.
Oh shit.
I'm dead ass. I didn't want to say anything to you, but this may be if we can't figure out a number 10, this may be number 10. Because I know we have like
We should just keep going until we hit 100. Until
Right.
we find 100 hidden gems.
because I know that this is right now is for number 10, but I've not seen the platform and you've not watched Lay the Rest yet.
Oh god. Yeah. So,
So-
we're gonna get to 20.
So because of
Yeah.
that, we don't know if we have 10 and 11 right here.
because I was gonna
and-
say is the Lovely Bones a hidden gem, or whatever it's called? Because how often do you hear that movie get brought up?
No, I don't. And it is a good movie, but the problem with The Lovely Bones, this is my one glaring
Okay.
issue with The Lonely
Is it
Bones.
because it's Mark Wahlberg?
Not because of Mark Wahlberg, no, because it's fucking long. It's like 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah, but so was fuck. There's been a couple long ones we've enjoyed. It's just as of recent we've been watching some 2-hour stinkers. That's why.
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
I just
it is a little too long.
I
If it was an hour and a half, bro.
if it was an hour and a half, it would have been great. It would have been fucking perfect. But that's like my problem with the Black Phone. The Black
Yeah.
Phone would have been a great movie if it was like an hour and a half instead of 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
It's that long?
Oh yeah, Black Phone's a long fucking movie.
There's a lot of horror films.
There's a
that
lot
are
of horror
over
films
two.
that are over 2 hours. Like I mean, fucking Midsommar is a 2 hour movie.
2.5.
Hereditary is a 2 hour movie.
2.5.
But-
warranted though.
Yeah, but you've not seen Midsommar yet.
Yo,
You
get on that.
Get on Midsommar, dude. I'm telling you.
It's
One
one
to
of
10.
it's one of
10.
10. It's one of those horror films where you just don't. You're like, what? Why? Huh?
Yeah, we even covered it in the
Yep.
archives of
On the
Horror
archives.
Wars when we did our lore episode, because Midsommar was the horror
Yep.
club for Wicker Man.
Yep. And those are two. Well, one's funny as fuck because it's a terrible remake, but
Yeah.
we love the original.
The original Wicker Man, can't stop sucking Schmeat on that
Yep,
one.
That one is an amazing movie.
Yeah. So okay, now that we've gone into a retrospective of Horror Wars,
What I was curious. What are we gonna do for the gaming for next
for
week?
for next week, I got something in plan.
Okay.
I definitely do, and you're gonna love it.
Okay.
You're gonna love it.
Oh, we talked about this in Horror Wars, but I do want to say once again, shout out to Max Puppers on Twitch because yesterday he passed away.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
All right. Look, I'll let the cat out of the bag. We're gonna do Dead by Daylight
Okay. I figured.
for this Horror
figured.
Wars. Okay, yeah. Because I know that we did have a little talk about him, and his history of everything. So yeah, rest in power to Puppers, to Max. Didn't know that he passed. That sucks for the Dead by Daylight community
Oh, yeah.
and for a lot of people in general that just knew him. You know, so I didn't really know him, and I only knew of him because of you.
Yep.
So yeah. Anything you'd like to say?
Just rest in peace, Puppers.
Okay.
Cool dude. Shout outs.
All right. With that, I think we're good to end this episode.
And in the episode of Horror Tube, I'm Josh.
I'm Rob.
And see you. Did we do 2 and 2 here as well?
We don't actually have a fucking ending for Horror Wars because we can never get it right.
Or Horror Tube.
Yeah, see, we can never get
Yeah.
Horror Tube right.
I have no.
because we're reverse.
Yeah.
And I just think Rosh and Job would be great.
We gotta watch 2 rom-coms, bro. And just be like, I'm Rosh.
And I'm Job.
And man, these were great. The romance scenes were amazing. Like instead of gore/kills, it's romance and whatever. It's
Yeah.
like,
We'll have to figure something out. We'll have to. If there's a demand for
that would
Rosh
be
and
funny as
Job
shit.
to do Romance Wars, then
It'd be funny if there was an actual reverse day, like holiday,
right.
like on the calendar type shit, because we could do it for that, like
Yeah.
every reverse day.
Every reverse day, that would be great. Shit. All right, so we'll see you in 2 weeks after that.
See you on Horror Wars.
Yeah, see you next week for Horror Wars.
Bye.
Let the wind blow through your nipples.